And here's my thing, like Barstool is supposed to push boundaries. This is what they, I think, kind of used to be. That's not what they are anymore.
I mean, like, do those boundaries need to be pushed?
Well, but that's so you make mistakes.
Okay.
So now, but here's the thing, though, Steve. So now, when mistakes are made, and that was dumb, and the Kaepernick thing was dumb. Dave knows it was dumb. He wouldn't have done it today. He wouldn't have done it 3 weeks ago before the start. He wouldn't do that again. And now I understand. Like Dave was in the office, and I guess he asked the woman at the front desk, and she said, I don't think that's a great idea.
That's what makes it worse.
Which is, but at the same time. Look.
Well, I mean, you can do it. You can find Artie Lang, Louis C.K., Jim Norton using it on stage.
Get ready. I mean, that's next. Like,
yeah.
They're going to start taking down comedian after comedian. And here's my thing: like, Barstool is supposed to push boundaries. This is what they, I think, kind of used to be. That's not what they are anymore.
I mean, like, do those boundaries need to be pushed?
Well, but that's so you make mistakes.
Okay.
So here's the thing, though, Steve. So now, when mistakes are made, and that was dumb. And the Kaepernick thing was dumb. Dave knows it was dumb. He wouldn't have done it today. He wouldn't have done it 3 weeks ago before the start. He wouldn't do that again now.
But he knew it was dumb then because he asked Ebony.
Okay, so he thought it was dumb. So he did something he thought was dumb, which means he took a chance. Sometimes when you take chances, they're stupid. There's no doubt about it. But now, anytime anybody thinks, well, should I take this chance going forward? Fuck it. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, you won't do it.
So then Barstool, which again, is this the end of the world? No. But Barstool is not Barstool now. And I think it's being eaten from within to some extent. And I'm not saying that these people don't have legitimate gripes. They might. But I'm just telling you, it's going to change the tone and tenor. And some people may say that's a good thing. I personally think that's a bad thing. Do I think that video is good? No. Do I think the idea of let's try and make people less creative and take less chances a good thing? Fuck no, I don't. I definitely do not.
And we say, well, like Steve's saying, it was 4 years ago, not 40 years ago, which I understand. But we're taking ourselves now. A lot's changed in 4 years. Never mind 40. Yeah. A lot's changed in that amount of time. Barstool had a pretty big audience and a lot of people that wanted to take them down. So if anyone thought that was really wrong and racist and offensive, they would have done it 4 years ago.
Well, for sure.
Why wouldn't they?
Well, no, but
it wasn't that offensive at the time, and now it is.
Jamel Hill wasn't offended by it.
Right.
If she'd seen it 4 years ago,
she was promoting her show on Barstool.
She wasn't offended by it. This is a chance for people to jump and attack. And I think I get it. And I like the idea that they were able to do that podcast. I got no problem with it. They can do it every day if they want. No problem. But I think it's tough when you are starting to fight from within as well. And if something comes out today that's even worse in the eyes of others, then it's going to be another issue, as opposed to just saying, look, this stuff happens in the past. It's part of the company we work for. That's sort of the thing. The other part of it I'm not crazy about is, well, we'll get to it. Is there any other particular sound from that podcast? Well, I mean, do we have that like commercial at the beginning that they do or no?
No, I didn't have the commercial for the black skincare line.
Yeah.
No, I didn't pull a commercial.
Did you hear that, Mike?
Not right at the beginning. It's like 20 minutes in or so.
It's like the black skincare sort of mocking thing.
Yeah, I think I did hear that.
Sort of. I don't know. It was strange. And like,
but I didn't know if it was real. I didn't know what was
I don't think it was real.
Yeah.
So I think, I know Trill Withers, that his name?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was pretty good on it.
Yeah.
And Liz actually also, we're not thrilled. And I get it, because I guess Willie evidently didn't tell them what he was going to call the podcast. So you do the podcast, you talk about how this word is this, and then you call the podcast that word is strange.
I don't know. I thought it was a way for Willie to attract attention to the podcast, because it's going to be controversial. It was kind of like a avant-garde.
It's hard to promote it then.
Yeah, but then you saw articles like
yeah,
Barstool uses N-word in podcasts.
You got a lot of secondary coverage on it.
But here's the thing, though. Like, you can't. I don't know. To me, you can't. It's the whole argument. I guess. I don't know. To me, it's a word. It's a word. It's an awful word. I don't use it. Disavow. Right, Steve?
Yes, but I think that there's a strain amongst black people that they want to take it back and by using it themselves, they take the power away from white people.
But they have. I mean, I would say, which is fine. Okay. I don't really care.
I mean, you can say that as a white person, that you feel like, that word is no longer has any power, but there's still plenty of white people using it.
Sure, and I wouldn't use it, and I would tell other people not to use it, but I think it's, I don't know. Like, I think what you're getting now is some people are genuinely upset, and some people who smell opportunity, and that's a tough combination.
That's
Muj. That's complete.
Totally Muj. That was a business decision. Absolutely.
And people applaud, and then he goes away. And I think I think you might get more of that. Ultimately, here's where I land on it before we get to the other stuff. Is like, I get what Dave said was stupid, but my overall point is it's a fucking comedy site. They take chances, they push, sometimes they miss, and if you really don't like it, you should probably go somewhere else. And again, you can say, oh, you're telling us. No, not at all. Stay and try and change whatever you want. But the idea that you want to stay here and change the culture of Barstool, I don't think is really the best idea. I think Barstool is Barstool. You can do whatever you want. They can do that podcast. Dave's gonna let them do whatever they want, say whatever they want. Call Dave a fucking racist, shit on him. Good luck finding that somewhere else, because that is not going to happen.
And that's where that Muj is just lying, because maybe I'm sure he didn't know that Kaepernick comment existed. I'm sure he didn't hear that, maybe, but he's heard Dave insult other employees, other enemies, whoever. He's heard him fucking trash people, and to hear that one comment and say, "Well, I didn't know that's where I was working." Right. It's like you're just a liar. You're just lying.
I'm reading his quote. He just did, like you said, this is his chance to score some points, and he'll probably land a job somewhere else. I'll talk about Brady and no one will ever fucking pay attention to him again. Now, of course, what happens is when you let poison in, to the company, even if it's as a guest or something, this is what happens. And it's our girl Gina. The thing about Dave Portnoy saying he's uncancelable is it's true. Cancelableness depends on your audience. If they don't give a shit about POC, women, etc., then yeah, you're safe from criticism. That's why we pressure their advertisers to bail and ostracize their fans. So, that's good. Gina, who was brought into the universe, is now going to try and ruin it. So that's smart.
Yeah, I don't have any proof of this, but I think that this entire thing started with K. Marco publishing that op-ed.
I agree. No question about it.
I think everyone agrees with that.
No question. He's been quiet, huh?
Side, yeah.
Where's he been?
Ellie's been a little quiet too.
Yeah, weird how that works.
If Kirk Minihane is a racist for questioning donations to mysterious organizations, then what say you, Ellie, of Dave Portnoy?
I mean, Dave Portnoy, you said, what I'm about to say is racist. Weird. And not like Dave's racist, but I mean, when they sign your checks, you get awfully quiet.
Kind of strange.
Friends with somebody who's trying to tear the company down.
Don't worry, that Ellie subscription service will be dynamite.
Well, you did start the trend of people leaving. Maybe Muj, it was inspired by you.
True. I guess.
Starting a walkout.
Maybe. I don't know.
I got more Willie sound to play for you.
Yeah, what do you want? What's next?
Well, he told me, he's like, Willie, I'm not a racist. I'm throwing the middle fingers up at the people who've been trying to cancel me for so long. And I said, I get that, Dave. But to the other side, who actually work for you and work here, we're kind of offended by it. So while you're throwing the middle fingers up at the cancel culture, you're really throwing your middle fingers up at us. And he was like, I hear you. But, and the but was, I have a bigger following. I'm bigger than you. I write your checks, and the people that support me and Barstool help me write your checks. So fucking eat a dick. That's how I took it.
So Willie trademark line.
Ouch.
So Dave stole Willie's line. Is that to him?
People cheer when he says it now.
Okay.
I thought that was not a great look for Dave.
I'm okay with it. I don't like. He's being honest. Like, I don't know.
Take race out of it. Say it's a conversation between me and Dave.
Yeah, but you can't now. Like, it's impossible. You're right, but that's like saying take.
My point is he is the boss.
But this is about race. And just because you're a boss and just because you're powerful doesn't mean you're held to a different standard when it comes to racism.
But do bosses ever? Would a boss call an underling like that and apologize for a situation that has
2020 they would.
That has nothing to do
Fuck
with them?
Yeah, they would.
But it necessarily does have something to do with Willie, because Willie is seen as the representative of black people at Barstool.
Was he elected that? I think I don't.
No, I don't know.
He's the older guy. He's the most established person. That's why Erica reached out to him. Dave reached out to him. It's not an elected position, but he is the representative. He's the one who got that podcast together. He is like the representative of black people at Barstool.
There is a pressure on them too that we don't really think about, because anytime an issue like this comes up, it's like, well, what does Trill Withers think? What does Brendan think? What does Willie think?
But I'll get to that in a second because I have thoughts on that. But it's, yes, I get it, and I suppose why Willie would be offended. But there's part of me that also says, like, this is there has to be a place where you say this is Barstool, or it's not. If it's not, and then we're careful and we're thoughtful and we worry about people's feelings and we talk about saving people and all that, then fine. Then it's not Barstool anymore. If it's not Barstool anymore, just say it's not Barstool anymore. Say it's a place that we're sensitive and we care about each other and there's a place to air our feelings and our thoughts and da-da-da-da-da-da. Or there's a place where you say sometimes, yeah, I'm sorry, that was stupid, but if you're going to be offended by stuff, fucking go somewhere else. And I don't care if you're black or white or whatever, but if it's going to upset your feelings a lot, this probably isn't going to be a place for you because A, there's stuff in the past that's come out that you're not going to like, and B, stuff in the future we're going to say stupid shit sometimes. That's the appeal of the company. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, the whole podcast, and some of it I completely understood, but the tone of it felt like, watch your language.
Oh, it felt
which
to me,
which is the opposite of what
Right.
Barstool and comedy in general.
you know what it felt like to me was it felt like ESPN Town Hall.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like here's our, you know, and that's okay. And they want to have that conversation. They can have it. And there were some good points in there. One of the guys, I forget who said, actually made a point. This is where it's like really good. And I'm listening to it and thinking I would have never crossed my mind to think that this could have a completely different experience. It was a great point. One of the guys, I forget who it was, talked about the Confederate flag. And he said, as a black guy,
I think it was Brandon. Yeah.
Brandon,
He said he wants them up.
He's like, I like the idea because I, at least if some guy's riding around this truck in the South with a flag on, I know that guy's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
If he doesn't have it, you know, he's just fucking hiding. I have no idea. I was like, for me, that would have, I always think, you know, the flag sucks. It's stupid. It's racist, whatever. You know, I think people should have the right to drive around and have it in their car if they want, but I'm not sure it should be representative of states. But, you know, that's like, that would never cross my mind to think, but that was a really good point.
And there's actually probably not enough of that where it's like that. Yeah, at point if someone wants to expose themselves as a racist or a bigot or whatever,
right.
That's on them. Like then we can judge them rather than having to immediately cancel.
And I'm sure he's
them
thinking this is the
themselves.
guy's gonna come over behind the truck and hit me in the fucking head, you know?
Right.
One of my biggest problems was when Trill started talking about like, oh, yo, you have these videos, but then you also have Dave going on Tucker Carlson.
Well, we'll get there. I know that bothered me too. But boy, I mean, Liz Gonzalez adds nothing to a conversation. It is well, she's such a zero. Like at one point, she tells that womp womp. It was fine. I don't want to play it. Oh, go ahead.
I can honestly say he has been absolutely fantastic to me, with me, about me, regardless of what situation is going on, you know, in my personal life and my, you know, physical health life.
Pause real quick. I hate this tone.
Yeah,
I hate that the conversation is like
she sounds like Katie Couric.
Like as if Dave committed some awful crime. It's like, and believe it or not, guys, he has been nice to me.
Before those couple of murders, he was the nicest guy.
If you can believe it.
She said something really stupid, sort of. A word that they use like 30 times in the podcast.
Right.
And I know the rules are different, but like you know.
It's so awful you can't hear it unless it's coming from.
Right. And those are the rules.
Yeah.
And I'm okay. I mean, I suppose I'm okay with those rules, but go ahead.
A lot of respect for Dave. And I know the kind of person he is and how he has treated me and treated those around him. And it's tough to hear something like that because, yeah, I mean, gut reaction, you know, being that I am, you know, Mexican, like, no, I don't look at somebody with a head wrap and think all of these things. But it's also because I've been in the position where I'm being judged.
God, you're judged because you're boring. I don't care. There's a difference between me and other people. I don't give a fuck. You're boring.